Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today's video is Friday Fun Day. I'm going to show you how to make a super simple bath soak. Okay, and then I'm going to show you some washcloths that I made a few years ago that you can make, and then also tell you how to link up to it. So what we're going to do today is make a bath soak. This is going along with our Pamper Us series that we've been doing the last couple of weeks, which is the first couple of weeks of January 2023. All right, so here are the ingredients that we're going to be using for our bath soak. We're going to be using Epsom salt. And the reason Epsom salt is so important is that it breaks down into magnesium and sulfate. Now, Epsom salt is not actually salt itself. It's just called that because the pieces of it look a lot like large, coarse salt. When you soak in Epsom salt, it helps those sore muscles. It also helps with inflammation. You have feet that swell, soak your feet in Epsom salt. You can soak your whole self in it. It's perfect for sore elbows and knees and just swollen muscles. And it's basically a muscle relaxer without having to take any kind of medication. All right, so we're going to be using Epsom salt. The other thing we're going to be using is coffee. Now, we're not going to be using the grounds today. We're going to be using either instant coffee or brewed coffee. Both will work just fine. The most important thing about the coffee is make sure you get something that's organic or rich in nature, not inexpensive, or should I say generic type coffees. You want a good, strong brand. And I'm using instant coffee today, but I'm also going to explain to you how to use regular coffee that's been brewed, but not ground coffee today. The other ingredient that we're going to be using is pink Himalayan salt. Oh, I forgot to tell you that coffee helps with circulation. So if you have leg circulation issues, put some of this in your Epsom salt soak. Okay? All right, now, pink Himalayan salt, it's known for its calming and relaxing quality. It is also thought to help with inflammation and help to relieve water retention, which goes along with swelling, because sometimes swelling is just water retention. Okay? It's also good for softening up the skin. Himalayan salt will leave your skin feeling soft and smooth. All right, and the last thing we're going to be adding to it is vanilla. And I'm using vanilla as my scent again, like we did the other day with the face and body scrub. But you can use any essential oil you want to for your scent in your bath soak. All right? It doesn't do anything other than have a wonderful soothing aroma. One thing to keep in mind is if you're going to be using coffee, you want to pick a scent that's going to go well with that smell of coffee. If you're not going to add the coffee to yours, you can use any essential that you like maybe eucalyptus or lavender. And you can use a couple together that helps you relax and feel better in a warm bath. All right, those are the ingredients. Now I'm going to switch over to my other camera so we can talk about the specifics of the recipe. So you're going to need some sort of a jar. I recommend a glass jar for this. You can put it in plastic if you want to put your ingredients in. And I have a funnel here just to make it easier to pour them in there. And once we get them in there, we'll put the lid on and give it a good shake. All right? All righty. Now, we're going to begin first with the Epsom salt. So I'm going to put this here. And you're going to need 1 cup of your Epsom salt. And it can be a little bit chunky. We want to get that in there. I spilled a little bit of my coffee because I have this measuring cup inside the other one. All right, I think we got our issue done. So I put too much in at once. There we go. So now I have a cup of my Epsom salt in my jar. All right. Now I'm going to grab my coffee, and I've already got it measured. 1 cup of instant coffee. If you're going to use brewed coffee, don't put it in yet, okay? And you're going to see we need a large jar because we've got a lot of ingredients. If you don't want to make the whole thing, you can do half cups, and that way it's a half batch. But I like a good hot bath, and so I'm going to make a whole batch. All right, so there is my coffee, instant coffee, and my Epsom salt in my jar. All right, so the last thing we're going to add is our pink Himalayan salt. All right, and I've already got it measured out here. And I think I'm just going to pour this in because it's kind of chunky. And we'll just get that in there. All right. Now, if you're making this as a gift, it looks really nice if you don't mix it. You can put it on a tag that says, mix me up or something like that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add the lid. And we're just going to start mixing it to incorporate everything through the whole jar. And this may take a few minutes, and it's kind of fun. And you can also use a spoon if you want to. I just think it's kind of fun just to mix it all up in there. And it looks really pretty once it's all mixed. Once you get it all mixed up, and this one actually needs to be mixed just a little bit more to get it more incorporated all the way through it. But what you do is you go ahead and take the lid back off, and this is when you add, if you're using liquid coffee, brewed coffee, you're going to use a cup of brewed coffee instead of the instant. I like using the instant just because I think it incorporates a little better and just doesn't get it wet just yet. All right, so the last thing you're going to do is add a teaspoon of your scent. And again, I'm using vanilla. I love the smell of vanilla and coffee. And again, this vanilla that I'm using is some that my husband purchased for me in Mexico. It is amazing. And make sure if you're going to use vanilla, use a pure vanilla. And this vanilla you can get at most of your Hispanic markets and stores. And I also find it's much cheaper than your imitation vanillas in grocery stores. Okay, they make it in this light color, and they also have a dark one. It is just amazing. I usually use half the amount of vanilla in my baking and cooking than I do the imitation vanilla because it just has fabulous smell and tastes perfect with a lot of things. And it's going to smell wonderful with this bath soap. All right, so I'm going to put the lid back on, and we're going to incorporate that even more. And I like to shake in a circle. I think it incorporates. And you'll notice it gets a little clumpy in there. It's okay. That's the vanilla working through it. Okay. All righty. Now it's time to go test it in the bath. So now I'm filling up the tub, and I'm going to add my Epsom salt. I measured out 1 cup of the mixture. And I'm mixing it in with some nice hot water, and I'm going to get in there in a little bit. You don't get to see that. And it smells amazing in here, like coffee and vanilla, and I cannot wait to see how it feels. Of course, I love a warm bath. I'll keep you posted. So I took that bath last night, not this morning, just so you know, and it was amazing. One thing you do need to remember is when you use a bath soak, it leaves residue on your skin. So make sure you just jump in the shower and rinse that off real quick before you put your jammies on and go to bed. Okay? I learned that the hard way. I love a good bath soak. I have been using Epsom salt soaks for years and years and years because I've had arthritis for a lot of years. And so it rejuvenates your muscles. It relaxes them. It helps you feel better. And boy, I tell you, when I take a hot bath at night, I sleep like a tiny baby. No, that doesn't mean I wake up every hour to eat either. Alrighty, now you can find the recipe and those notes on my blog, and as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. All right, I'm also going to put the link for these 2 washcloths, and I wanted to talk about these because these are round face washcloths that I love. They're all stitched up in single crochets, and I did them in the colors that we're using right now, this ombre and the blue, so that I would have a set to go with my Pamper Us set. Now I didn't update the pattern because it's fine. I didn't update the video because it's perfect. Not perfect. I'm far from perfect, but it's totally fine, and I'll put that link as well down in the notes underneath this video so you can have one more pattern for your Pamper Us set. All right. So in the end, we're going to end up with 7 patterns plus the 2 bonus patterns, and the 2 you're going to have facial body scrub recipe and that soak recipe. Now remember, if you're not a coffee person, don't put it in there, and it'll still work fabulous because Epsom salt and pink Himalayan salt are 2 of the major best things for a bath soak. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for Friday Fun with Sara, and we'll do something fun and silly, okay? Bye-bye now.